Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. This is our 2022 Subaru BRZ Sport-Tech in the crystal white pearl. Brand new redesign for this year. I absolutely love this body style. I enjoyed the previous BRZ. This is just that much better. The front end is absolutely gorgeous. They made some nice changes to the car, and even at the front, functional vents, aerodynamics, brake cooling, but updated engine, 2.4 liter, naturally aspirated, producing 228 horsepower, and they have fixed that torque curve issue that the previous generation had with this new engine. So we've got this black accent here. These are actually functional vents as well, and I don't know if you can see my finger sticking through there, but it is there. So it is functional. There's functional vent in the rear bumper as well. Now, Sport-Tech is the full load. There is only two trims of the BRZ. On the Sport-Tech, you do get the 18-inch wheels as opposed to the 17s. You get different tires. You get the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on this. So a little stickier, a little bit better for summer driving, track driving. Now, this Sport-Tech does happen to be the automatic. So it does have the backup sensors in the rear bumper. They will actually apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse at speeds of between 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. Now, to access the trunk, so long as the key's on you, there's actually a little black button right here. I don't know if the camera will focus, but you just click it and it pops open. And the trunk with the rear seats folded flat, you've got lots of room. You can easily fit a couple sets of golf clubs, some luggage, and underneath here, you've got your fix-a-flat kit, weight savings, and in the event someone does get stuffed in the tiny trunk, you do have the trunk release. Then this little black dot right here, your backup camera. They've got the built-in duckbill spoiler with this. Not overly aggressive, just a little bit for style. The aftermarket will fix that. I'm sure we'll have giant duckbill wings on these soon enough. Now, with it being a proximity key, to unlock it, you just put your hand in the handle. To lock it, we've got these lines. So long as the key's within about 3.5 feet, touch, there you go. You wait a second. I always like to back up, take it out of range, and then you put your hand in. On the interior here, on the door, we've got this Naub Braun Ultra Suede there and on top of the gauge cluster. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that. I'll put the name in the link description, in the video description below, so you can all laugh at how poorly I pronounced it. Leather with the red contrast stitching. Red and black is the interior theme of these cars. Move to the seats. We've got the leather and ultra suede with the red contrast stitching, the red leather contrast in the middle. I really like the red and black interior. I think it suits the car despite the exterior being white. I think it really pops. We also get these chromish side sills, stainless steel side sill protectors, supposed to reduce the amount of people dragging their foot, wrecking the paint there. Now we will hop onto the interior here. So here we are in the cockpit. To start it, it is push button. So to press the brake, push the start button, and it comes to life. So left-hand side of the steering wheel here, Bluetooth and audio controls. Make and take calls, control the volume of the calls, music, source, switch from AM to FM to CD, or not CD, sorry, satellite, USB. Right-hand side here, we can change some of this center display stuff, the adaptive cruise distance. So when I turn on the cruise, there's cruise, and you can see top left, there's the arrows, 3 bars, 4 bars. That's the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you'll follow at if you catch up. That's easy, and the cruise is actually just on the stick here. It's that old school style, but look at these gorgeous digital gauges. Now you can actually play around with these a little bit. You can change what you want to look at. You've got your G's, what you're listening to for the cruise. You've got lots of options to change this around, and when I turn it into track mode, it changes that. So that'll be the speedometer becomes small, and your tachometer, that becomes the focus. So regular, and then press and hold for track, and I'll show you that here in a second. But yeah, really, really easy to use. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's a super, super cool gauge setup. Works really, really well. And once you know what you're looking for, it's easy to find exactly what you want. So, I mean, bottom left there, we've got oil temperature and battery voltage. Easy to use. But yeah, again, black and red. Black leather steering wheel, red contrast stitching. Very, very easy to hold on to. It's actually doesn't really look like it, but it is a little bit fatter here. It feels nice in the hand, and it doesn't feel like a particularly small wheel. It's comfortable. And we do have the paddle shifters, downshift, upshift. Nice, large 8-inch display. It is all touch, but we do have the physical buttons on either side. So, for phone. No device connected. Easy enough to use. You do get a 3-year trial with the My Subaru Connected Services, and that is only in the Sport-Tech. The entry level does not get that trial. But with the automatic, you'll get the ability to remote start your vehicle, pre-warm or pre-cool it. And when you put it in reverse, backup camera pops up. Rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. You can see it senses the wall there, green is good. You can just see the parking, I guess, barricade that we're close to, and there's the center of your car. Really easy to use. When you turn the wheel, those orange lines move, show you where you're gonna end up. Climate control is dual function, or dual zone. 15 is the low, and I believe that 30 is the high. Yeah. So, freezing and tropical, depending how you and your passengers want it. Easy to sync. So it does obviously look a little different than most traditional Subarus. This is the Toyota-inspired portion. Mode changes where the airflow is on that little person. Got your heated mirrors and back window, which I think is kind of funny in these cars because you don't typically see these being driven in the cold weather. And then for the blind spot detection, it is the small little, here, I'll pull the window down. It's this right there. So I'm gonna turn it off through the system and then turn it on. So it is very subtle. It's a lot more subtle than what you find in most other Subarus, but that's what it looks like. It just illuminates a little bit orange, just enough to catch your attention and let you know that someone's there. And then window controls are here, mirror controls are here, window lock, and then you've got your brightness for your gauges. And it actually does make quite a big difference, especially at night. Not so much right now. We do have the momentary safety switch, so you can't actually accidentally drive around with your lights turned off. It defaults to auto, but you can drive with them turned on fully. And these are, in the Sport-Tech, they are the steering responsive headlights. So they will turn when you turn the vehicle at speed. Down here, we've got traction control, we've got snow mode, sport mode, and track mode. So I'm gonna turn off traction control, and it just says, bottom right there, track off. I'm gonna press and hold for track mode, and it turns off track and then takes you to that. So it's more aggressive. It's definitely more aggressive. And then with snow, you press the bottom and it pops up right below the tachometer, and press up for sport and it gets red. I guess red means it's gonna go faster. And then press up again and it goes back to that. Heated seats, high and low for both the driver and passenger. They heat up really, really quickly with the Ultra Suede. And then actually the only real complaint that I've read about with the new BRZ, the cup holder location. It's kind of poorly laid out, but there isn't a whole bunch of room for cup holders up here. This, I guess, could double as a cup holder. 2 USB ports for music listening, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, an aux cord or aux input for any music listening. But yeah, that's the only downside that I've actually read about people complaining. And then up top here, for the adaptive cruise and automatic emergency braking, we've got the 2 forward-facing cameras. And then with the My Subaru Connected Services trial, you've got your SOS and you've got your roadside assistance right there. So that's a brief overview of the 2022 Subaru BRZ Sport-Tech with Eyesight. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Talk to you guys soon.